what's-its and ended up with orange hands and thinking, oh, I like that now, so I just drink them now.
So, Transformer snacks, do they work by biting a bit off, licking them and sticking them together, what's-it style?
I can't remember now, but I remember having a bag of just wheels and stuff. I just ate them, to be fair. There probably was a time when I was very young where I tried to make something with them, but...
So they have existed for a while, have they? Because I've never seen these anywhere. They don't even have these in the corner shop round these parts. I don't believe they exist. Looking at them, they're only 20p a bag as well.
Yeah, they're not going to be sold around here.
So that's a bit of a bargain, isn't it? No, that leads us on to a question we've had from Whittip on Twitter. Does anyone actually spend £2 on a packet of Posh crisps? He's got a mental barrier for any packs over £1. And I read that and thought, most of the crisps I buy are probably more than £1. I like a bag of kettle chips.
I like the Chipotle ones.
You're such a pretentious prick.
They're awesome. I remember buying them because I watched South Park where they said that Chipotle made you bleed out your backside when you ate it. And I thought, that can't be true. They wouldn't sell it in this country. So I brought them and then thought I was going to eat them to test it. And I thought, no, I probably should look this up beforehand. And if you type in the word Chipotle, pretty much straight away it comes up saying, does it make you bleed? I saw it on TV. And the answer's no. That was just them being mean. So I'd add the crisps. First time I had them, best thing I'd ever eaten. The nicest crisps in the world. I can't reach that level of niceness again though. I've brought them since and I can't. It doesn't have the same effect. It's like I've got to go a decade without eating them or something because they never taste as nice as they did that first time. It's bizarre, but I recommend them. Try them.
What brand are they? Are they Walkers?
They're like the Walker Sensation ones.
Oh, the really pretentious ones.
No, but they're always on special offer. They're the only time I buy them when they're like £1 a bag.
They have the ones that are little poppadoms and the ones that are little prawn crackers with funny flavours on as well,
yeah,
don't they?
do,
the poppadom ones are nice. They're, what are they? What's coriander? Coriander flavoured poppydom? Coriander flavoured poppydoms. That's the future. They're very pleasant.
Yeah, so check them out.
Welsh Beck from Twitter. Pickled egg in a packet of salt and vinegar crisps. Discuss. Now... I don't think there's any discussion there, is there? That's just a bit weird.
That is a bit weird.
I mean, you could have stopped at pickled egg, to be fair. Just say pickled egg to me and I'm going to look through you. I don't understand
really
what you are.
Eggs. Are they just basically left in a jar forever until they're all gone? Do you know what I mean? Like, because pubs always have them. And
well, they're pickled, aren't they? They'll last forever.
They will, yeah, but what I'm saying is...
Did you say your Uncle Jimmy? Or your local chippy?
My local chippy.
I heard that as your Uncle Jimmy. Why do I care if your Uncle Jimmy likes a pickled egg?
My local chippy is like a big load of them. And I swear that I never sat and counted them, but it doesn't ever look like it's ever gone down.
I don't think I've ever met anyone who's had a pickled egg.
But I saw a guy on the news who was... A reporter had gone to a bar because they were trying to introduce gourmet pub food, and they put a jar of pickled eggs next to it, and the pickled eggs apparently went quicker than the gourmet food. And I thought, they must have filmed that over a decade, though. They must have filmed that over like 25 years.
Have you ever seen anyone eat one?
No, that's what I mean. But
pickles in general. I mean, when you go to the chip shop, you can buy a whole gherkin and put on your chips.
I know people who buy gherkins.
Why would you want a whole gherkin?
Pickled onions.
I don't mind a little slice of gherkin on a burger, that's all right. I'm not going to have a whole gherkin on my chips. Pickled onions are acceptable. They're part of a ploughman's, therefore they're good. If anything is part of a ploughman's, it's fine by me. Pork pie, cheese, bit of crusty bread, pickled onion, I'm happy with all of that.
What kind of ploughman's do you eat? Pork pie, cheese, onion?
What do you have as a ploughman's, sir?
Are you talking about sandwich ploughmans or?
No, on a plate. You go into a pub, right, you ask for a ploughman's lunch.
I'm thinking of a ploughman's sandwich.
What the hell's a ploughman's sandwich?
I might be mixing it up with something else.
Is that just cheese and pickle, probably?
Big wedge of like ham and stuff in it, I think, if I remember right. Probably the same equivalent. Like
if a ploughman's doesn't have a wedge of pork pie with it, I'm not going to be happy.
But it's probably the meat from a pork instead of the pork pie. Similar
and a little slice of pastry, some of the jelly as well. That'd make a good sandwich. If you had a layer of bread, a layer of pickle, some cheese, a bit of jelly out of a pork pie, and some pastry. Don't worry about the meat. No one eats a pork pie for the meat. You can leave the meat out. I just want the pastry and the jelly. And then layer a bit of bread on top.
I don't like the jelly.
What do you mean you don't like the jelly? What kind of person doesn't like jelly?
It's a bit weird. There is a ploughman's sandwich. I didn't make it up.
Go on, tell me what's in a ploughman's sandwich.
It's wholemeal bread, cheddar, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and pickle. There's not even any meat in it.
So it's a cheese and pickle sandwich.
But that's what I think you meant at first.
It's a pretentious wankery name for a cheese and pickle sandwich. Now Google a ploughman's lunch or ploughman's dinner, and you'll find it's got pork pie, pickled onion. And if it doesn't, you're Googling the wrong place. Look on a different internet. if that doesn't have pork pie and a pickled onion involved.
Dinner, let's have a look. Okay.
Here we go.
It's ploughman's lunch.
Yeah,
ploughman's dinner.
Well, I would imagine a ploughman's dinner is more likely to have a pickled onion and a pork pie in, because obviously that's calling it proper. Because it is dinner, isn't it?
So yeah, ploughman's lunch is the cheese, chutney, bread, boiled eggs, pickled onions, things like that in it. Doesn't mention meat again. Ploughman's dinner, let's have a look.
Cutting edge, this is, isn't it?
Everyone's on the edge of their seat. You ain't going to like this because the ploughman's dinner is a picture of some bloody crackers, cheese, apricot mustard.
Well, they can go.
This can't be the right.
Yeah,
place.
go. What bloody website are you looking at? Look at a real website. I don't believe.
Love.com's ploughman dinner.
I don't believe there is a ploughman anywhere in the world who's ever eaten apricot mustard.
You're casting a bit of an aspersion there. There's probably a ploughman listening now who's just going to spit his apricot mustard all over his iPod or whatever he's listening to us on.
Write in to the usual address and let us know. And if you've ever eaten... I mean, have you ever had apricot mustard? That sounds like a strange thing. I don't like apricots. Apricots are a bit weird.
I like apricot. See, every picture I'm bringing up is just crackers and cheese, a bit of pickle. I haven't seen a pork pie yet. I think you've just made this up. I reckon everyone makes it up. I reckon there's just different...
I reckon, yeah, a ploughman's lunch is whatever you fancy. It's all your favourite stuff. So you'll have a bit of crusty bread, some nice cheese, pickled onion, pork pie. That's my ploughman's. A big scoop of Branston pickle on there as well. Perhaps a bit of ham. Nice slice of ham.
Do you reckon they just get the local ploughman to come into their pub and write a bit of the menu? Then call that the ploughman's menu, and that's that.
Probably. I had a ploughman's lunch in London once. I was down there on a training course and we went and had a ploughman's and that had pork pie in. So if even them, they're Londoners, realise you put pork pie in a ploughman's... Could have been. We should make ploughman's...
That's how the original Best Thing From episode started. We wanted to find... something about potatoes, wasn't it?
Yeah, my brain is now ticking over. We've got to find the best ploughman's lunch. We've got to find the true definition of a ploughman's lunch. Is that our challenge?
We should try and find it for next episode.
True. You realise we're doing the next episode in about 20 minutes. We're doing them back to back.
Yeah.
So you can do that while I read us another question, because we've got another question. This one is for... Oh, this was a good one. This was a question and a half. Dean Dangdo on Twitter. Desert Island Crisp. You can name up to 8 packs of crisps, different flavours, or all the same flavour if you want. But you ultimately have to pick what is your Desert Island Crisp. He gave us his top 4. He couldn't even do 8. The man posed the question himself. When I threw it back to him and say, all right then, smart ass, what's your 8? He could only give me 4. His 4. 4th place, Pickled Onion Monster Munch. 3rd place, Thai Sweet Chili Sensations. 2nd place, Salt and Vinegar Pringles. And number 1, and his Desert Island Crisp, is Cool Doritos. The first point I'd like to make to him is the crisp guy on Twitter isn't allowing any of them, because not one of them is a crisp. But Sheepdog, your Desert Island Crisps, please.
I could probably do 8. Obviously prawn cocktail, ketchup flavour, they're on the list. Salt and vinegar's got to be on the list. The Chipotle ones will be on there. How many's that for? I lost count. I had 5 fingers up, but knew I hadn't said 5. I think I was just leaning on my hand and then looked at it. But there's 4.
Go on then. What's the one? What is your bag of
the sauce ones as well?
We'll settle for 5. We don't need the full 8. What is your one? What is your Desert Island Crisp?
I see it's a toss up between the ketchup ones or the prawn cocktail ones now.
What, just normal Walker's Crisps, you boring bastard?
Or I'd take the Chipotle ones, but I wouldn't want to eat them. I'd want to wait a while and get the flavour, back.
Interesting. See, I think I'm going to go for 5 as well. I think my 5, and I was going to make notes about this, then I couldn't be asked. But I think I've got to have Twiglets in there. Now, I don't know if you're allowed Twiglets as a crisp, because it's not even close, but you buy them from the crisp. But I've got to have Twiglets. I love Twiglets. When I was a kid, we always used to have Twiglets, and my brother always dips them in ketchup because he's a weirdo. But then I always dip lettuce in Marmite, so who's weirder?
They don't even connect.
Also, I'm going to have mini cheddars on my list.
Oh, I forgot mini cheddars, and Watsits, to be fair. I'm on 7 now. Keep going.
I've got to have... Oh, he's back.
Onion mini cheddars.
Oh no, I don't like them. Oh no. I used to, in the olden days, like the Marmite mini cheddars, but these days I'm just happy with an ordinary mini cheddar. Possibly with a bit of Laughing Cow between 2 of them. All over
I hate
that bad
Laughing
boy.
Cow, mainly because the cow looks like a smug bitch.
I have got so much Laughing Cow memorabilia knocking around. It's all at my dad's house.
If I came into your house that's coming in, I'd probably have to leave because it would just annoy me. She looks horrible.
He's got a Laughing Cow alarm clock, Laughing Cow mugs, and these mugs are amazing because this was from collecting tops from Laughing Cow. They're the amazing magical mugs that where you put the drink in, the background changes. So when you've got your cold mug like this, it's night time and the cow's just stood in the dark field. You put hot drink in there and suddenly it's daytime and the sun's shining. And then as you drink the beverage, the sun goes down, and it's romantic, if nothing else.
They should make more cups like that. I'd like a cup that just I could look at it and tell how warm my tea was. You know, it should just start off bright red if it's hot, and then just go blue.
You'd never get to blue though.
Yeah, well, I like to leave mine to. I mean, I've only been at my current place of work for like a couple of weeks, not that long.
Which is the longest time you've ever spent at a job.
And they already know that I basically make soup, not tea. I leave it in there for a good 15 minutes. Mainly because I forget about it. But,
what, you leave the tea bag in for 15 minutes?
More like 10, but they exaggerate. I've been telling people that I've left it in there for like half an hour before, till it gets as thick as possible. I just like really dark tea. But
you are the only man I've seen who takes a tea bag out of his tea with a fork rather than a spoon.
Yeah, because that's how you unlock the extra tea. If you have a spoon, you're scooping up some of the tea with it, and it doesn't come out the other side of the bag. So when you're doing it, you're getting water running through the fork and the tea bag, which is getting more tea out.
We're on tea bags. Have I ever told you the story about how tea bags made me money?
No.
When I was at school, I was about 14, 15 at the time, and my dad's job at the time was working for a company who made like machinery for factories, and it was primarily the machines that make cigarettes, but they branched out a little bit, and they were contacted by PG Tips to make the machinery to make a new type of tea bag. And I went into school that day and placed a bet. I bet you within 6 months we'll be able to get pyramid-shaped tea bags. And that made me a good £5. It was amazing. People were absolutely flabbergasted when within 6 months, pyramid tea bags. It was a thing of beauty. But back then, that was back in the days. Oh, it's insider trading more than anything.
Illegal?
I don't know if schoolboys betting £1, it counts. But yeah, back then you could only get the square ones, or if you're if you're a posh, if you were from money, you'd have the circular ones that fit in your cup properly.
Money? My nan used to get circular ones, and she wasn't from money. I remember how excited she was when the adverts came on for pyramid flavoured ones. I know she told me it wouldn't catch on. No, someone said it wouldn't catch on, and she said to me, that's what they said about tea bags in the first place. I remember people telling me that you're not going to get me off my tea leaves, and yeah.
But I always buy pyramid ones now.
I used to buy Yorkshire ones.
But they're not in a pyramid shape.
Yeah,
if you want the tea to be released properly, you need a pyramid one so it can move around in the bag.
What I tend to do with my fork is poke it a little bit, make it 3D, and then smush it, and then it gets.
Don't you risk splitting the bag? What happens? Have you ever had a bag splitting accident?
Yeah, but I've got a tea strainer that I just pour it through. You're talking to a man who drinks a lot of tea. I mean, I started buying loose. I bought loose tea by mistake actually, and thought, right now I need to get a teapot and a strainer for God's sakes, and got all that together. And then the bag was only small; it was gone within a week. And I thought, well, that was a bit of a waste of time and money, so I bought more.
To waste more time and money?
Yeah, no, I thought I've got all the kit now. I might as well start buying loose tea. So I'm all prepared for that. So yeah, I don't care about a splitting bag. That's none of my problems.
So you've moved past a fork. I've not seen you make a cup of tea for a long time.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I've got a coffee machine now. As you well know, same as you.
Indeed.
Coffee machine. We're on to coffee now.
Exactly. So my top 5. Where was I? Twiglets, mini cheddars. I'm going to have the salt and balsamic vinegar flavoured kettle chips.
Aren't they rock hard?
Yeah, I love kettle chips. They're thicker and crunchier, and I love it. I'm also going to have the salt and pepper flavoured kettle chips in my top 5 as well, because kettle chips are amazing. I discovered them in a hotel room in the minibar before I realised I was on a business trip back in my former life as a grown-up, and I didn't realise that I would get billed for my own minibar use. So I ruined the minibar on the first night. I was eating all sorts of shit that I'd never want to eat. Weird flavoured cashews. Oh, what are they? I'll try these. Have a bit of that. They were horrible. But the thing that I got out of that, and the greatest moment of that whole week away in that hotel, was discovering salt and pepper flavoured kettle chips, because they are amazing.
I ate a whole bag of them the other week.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
I didn't feel very well, and I thought pepper's a bit antibacterial, and that'll cure me. Don't need antibiotics anymore. I got pepper flavoured crisps. It worked. Felt brilliant the next day.
Nice. And also in my top 5, I'm going to have smoky bacon flavour Walkers.
That's a bit of an anticlimax.
Well, I'm not saying which one's my Desert Island Crisp first, though. I think my Desert Island Crisp would have to be, and it's such a difficult decision, but I think I'm going to go for salt and pepper flavoured kettle chips.
Is that because you're thinking you'll be hunting on this island and you might need a bit of antibacterial goodness?
Just thinking they taste all right, don't they? They're rather pleasant. They go well with a pint of beer.
I thought they were a bit plain in a way. I just thought they were alright. Bit of pepper in there.
Yeah. As crisp should be. Dave Lane 78 on Twitter said, "Who invented crinkle cut and why did they ever think it would be a good